Hi, this is Tom Casill at MacGregor Abstract, and I'm recording this to share some experience that I've had just recently with the Small Business Administration and the Payroll Protection Program. Very popular program out there. I've seen a lot of people writing about it. It seems like one of the more attractive programs that the SBA has right now, especially in the area of disaster relief. From what I've read about it, they will lend you a certain amount of money and forgive the repayment of it as long as you spend it in accordance with their guidelines. From what I understand, the guidelines are you're spending it on 75% of it is going toward payroll and payroll-related services, health insurance, payroll services, things of that nature. And the other 25% can be spent on a few other things. It's not my intention to get into the details of how you can get forgiven of that loan, but more so to address the frustrations that I and others have experienced in trying to even apply for the loan at this point. I have received notification from my commercial bank that they are an SBA lender. This particular loan, you have to go through an SBA approved lender. They are still trying to get their website together to accept applications for this loan electronically so that they can process it electronically. Now, I have heard stories that other large banking institutions have already been accepting applications, and I'm starting to get frustrated because I'm trying to put mine in and they can't even take the application yet. I know there's what seems like a lot of money, but when you consider how many small businesses there are out there, well, I was getting concerned because I have not even filed it yet. I have the privilege of having a contact who's a very high-placed senior management position in a major bank. They are in business banking. And first of all, they know who I am, I knew who they are, but I was thrilled that they were even able to take my call yesterday. And they were able to explain to me where their frustrations are and explain to me what they see going on in the market. And that's what I'm here to share with you today, predominantly. The federal government is encouraging the banks to lend this money with the Small Business Administration guaranteeing the payment of the loan. These lenders are lending money not based upon the small business owner's ability to repay, not based on the small business owner's collateral that they're putting up if they don't repay, but based upon the federal government's guarantee that when this is all said and done, the lending bank will be made whole and get payment from them. And from what I have been told, the criteria of that guarantee has been, I don't know if I should be calling it changing, or there was just more illumination being brought through. Anybody in the title insurance industry knows that we've been going through regulations over the past few years, and as soon as those regulations come out, oftentimes it's unclear what they mean when they say, and the more questions are asked, the more clarification comes in what these regulations mean and what it takes for us to comply with them. Right now, the banks are in the same spot. I've been told by my contact at a major bank that the other major banks may have taken some applications, but for the most part, none of those applications are being funded. There might be a few exceptions, but for the most part, they're not, because all the major banks are in the same place. They're lending out their money, and it all is dependent upon them understanding the terms on which this loan can be forgiven and how they are going to be made whole by the federal government. None of the banks have a straight answer. They're all getting the same information at the same place. I have been told that there are some smaller banks that have actually accepted applications, and they might have approved loans. They might even giving the money out to the borrowers. And from my contact, they're absorbing an awful lot of risk because they don't really have a good handle on all the criteria that has to be met for the government to make them whole. It's a risk that my bank is not accepting. It's a risk that most of the major banks are not accepting. And when I had this conversation with them, first of all, I was thrilled that they took the time to talk to me. But second of all, I took a lot of peace in this, in that I was feeling that if other banks were processing these applications and handing out money, that I don't know how much money it is, $356 billion comes to mind right now. It doesn't take that long, especially with a major bank pushing that money out. I'm here today to share with you that experience, to share with you the content of my conversations. And hopefully, if you're looking at this and you have plans on filing for one of these PPP loans, Payroll Protection Program loans, hopefully this will give you a little bit of peace that not too much money is getting out right now, but it's just a matter of time for the guarantees to be put in a place where the lenders understand how they're being made whole on this, and then it should be forthcoming. Can I tell you when? I wish I could. My banker wishes he could tell me when too. He could not. But I'm just sharing this with you, and hopefully it'll give you a little bit more peace and a little bit more comfort while we're waiting for these loans to be consummated. That's all I have for right now. I hope you're staying safe. I hope everyone is well, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks.